The otome game to the successful anime series My Next Life as a Villainess All Routes Lead to Doom might be the harem dating game you're waiting for, if you like boys fawning over you. First, what is this otome game? Hamefura, how the fans call the My Next Life as a Villainess franchise, was born as a light novel, raised to an anime, and is now revived as an otome game. So with that, Hamefura is one of the few cases where an harem anime got finally turned into an otome game, so we can finally date all the cute boys. And for everyone who isn't familiar with the Hamefura series like me, it is an otome isekai. That means in the story the main character gets transported into the world of the otome game she was addicted to, but not as everyone would wish for, as the heroine, but as the villainess. And as she knows this otome game by heart, she also knows there's no happy ending waiting for the villainess. But in most ends she'll get exiled or dies. Our strong-willed tomboyish heroine of course can't accept such a fate, and puts all her effort into avoiding those so-called doom endings. And more or less by accident, she then experiences all the key events with the characters normally the heroine of the otome game was to experience. And so she steals the hearts of the whole otome cast, so that all the boys and girls fall head over heels in love with her over the course of the years. This way, in the anime, she was somehow able to obtain a friendship ending, with no one dating, but alive, and that is what mattered to her. Now, shortly before the release of Season 2 in Japan, the otome game was released. It takes place after the friendship ending of the first season in the anime, and plays out like a fan disc of an otome game, with a completely new scenario. So maybe it's rather a sequel, just like part 2 of that sad otome game. And this time we're on a ship with our friends for some annoying social events and banquets, until pirates attack the ship and Katarina realizes she will have to evade the bad endings again and safely maneuver through this attack. So you see, the system and motive of the otome game is quite similar to the anime. You even have the Council of Katarinas deciding on how to act next. You might already know from the novel or anime. Just in a completely different setting. Still, there are a lot of allusions to what happened in the anime, especially how the relationship with the dateable characters developed. So either this review or the game will spoil the anime for you. We now commence our Katarina meeting for our game, Hamefura. So, how do we deal with Giorgio, our fiancé?
You mean that overbearing prick? I'm so gonna kick him.
Ah, come on, he's just being nice. He is indeed overprotective and jealous. I never know whether he's serious. And he's also constantly fighting over us with the others. It's so fun.
But that he now forced us to make up our mind is outrageous.
But I don't know if I'm in love with him. And while we have to figure out our feelings, we also have to escape from the ship. He indeed tries to get ahead of our other friends and isn't considerate of our feelings. And his voice actor from Taisho Alice Wizard gives me the creeps.
I would so break off the engagement. Seriously.
It's decided. He's too pushy and overbearing and takes neither our nor our friends' feelings into account. He almost behaves disrespectful towards us. So neither his rude nor his character could charm us. But for everyone who likes overbearing characters, he's your man. You all might know, similarly over the top is our stepbrother Keith.
He's overly anxious.
He's overly strict. And I believe he's overly in love with us. Maybe because his character is so similar to Cerdes, I also feel like their roots played out similarly. Again, we are forced to make up our mind. But I really don't know. Again, have to rescue everyone on the ship. So stressful. At least Keith got some cute character development. But still, the plot bored me so much. And have you heard that slimy voice acting? We know that from Shinin Amnesia or Frankenstein in Code Realize. But if you like the soft Onisan trope, here's this corner so much fun. Rejected. Luckily, those were the only characters we weren't interested in at all. And the rest of the game was far more enjoyable for us. Next, Nicole. I immediately liked him and his voice actor. We know him from Akaza and Olympia Soiree. And he was the first to appreciate our love for eating. And he's also the first to feel bad about being in love with a girl who's actually engaged.
There, have you thought about that?
He's so gentle and calm and respectful towards us and our friends. As his plot wasn't connected to the pirate attack but other magical happenings, I would describe it as refreshing. And because of that, Nicole's plot was the most enjoyable for us. It was fresh, his character decent. He's not pushy, but very considerate. And we all felt touched seeing him struggle between his feelings for us and his feelings for his friends. And how then his plot tested our strength.
No objection.
Next, we played Alan, the little brother of Jodo.
He always suffered from inferiority complex until he met us.
And to this day, we are the only one who he feels truly understands and sees him and is always able to cheer him up.
But he can't hold his feelings back as well as Nicole.
And yet he didn't plan to reveal his feelings to anyone until the pirate attack forces us to work closely together.
Very closely.
Well, anyways, Alan's route has one of the first revelations about the pirate attack and a very interesting and action-packed plot overall. And on top of that, we had a lot of time together, just us two, and a lot of cute moments.
And a lot of flashed cheeks,
leading to a cute and respectful love development. And I read that we know his sexy voice actor from Lover Pretend Sena. Sum it up, blushing is sexy, Alan blushes the most, which makes him earn our Sexiest to D-Man Alive award.
No objection.
Rubye? Who's Rubye?
Excuse me?
He's one of the new characters and works as a mechanic on board.
I am sure he has a secret and I'm gonna reveal it.
But he treats us gently and tries to protect us from the scary pirates. Though Rubye is technically a new addition to our harem, he blends in perfectly with the rest of the casts for a reason you'll discover soon enough. Plot-wise, his route was my favorite, and his love development was so sweet.
But not enough to really leave an impression on me.
Though I'm a fan of his soft and flirty voice acting, you also know from Neil Admirali's Cigars. And with that, Rubye will be the favorite of everyone who loves a gentle and sweet character.
No objection.
Lastly, we played Silver.
After all the secrets that were revealed in Rubye's route, what can you even expect from him?
He is the leader of the attacking pirates.
He often acts roughly and wild, but he seems to care about everyone's well-being. I'm also glad he speaks more roughly, compared to his roles as Takeru in Kola Malice, Kinji in Kumiyuki, or God forbid, Takato in Clock Zero.
And his route has a love development that spoke to every one of us, as it emphasized physical contact slightly more than in the other routes. And finally, the plot reveals the last secrets about the pirate attack. I wasn't personally blown out of my mind, but did enjoy learning more about the characters and their background. It is decided. Silver is the ally we are meant to be with. And his good ending is our personal true ending. It makes so much sense, we are such a sweet couple and match each other perfectly.
No
objections. The art looks pretty much like in the anime, and probably because of that it is less detailed compared to some other otome art styles. It's sweet and colorful, yet some CGs look rather off, like weird positions or suddenly the characters look completely different. And some CGs I would almost describe as that ugly as ruining the mood. As I wouldn't describe the musical as exceptional either, I feel somewhat embarrassed that some tunes still stuck in my head. Thus, the voice acting actually made up huge parts of the enjoyment for me, and I was pleasantly surprised to even hear some favorite voice actors as rather insignificant side characters, so much that I just wanted to leave the route I was on and date them. As the game is in a fantasy settings, there are some scenes that just throw some uncommon kanji at you, but still nothing too bad, and the rest of the game is smooth sailing except for the pirate attack. And of course the voice terrain also makes reading the lines of the MC so much easier and entertaining. I'd say this game is beginner friendly if you're willing to push through some technical explanations or sacrifice some understanding for the political plot lines, because these plot heavy parts can get challenging. And if you want to try the game in Japanese, feel free to use my Amazon affiliate links. Or if you want to be the first to get updates on reviews or attend Japanese learning streams, then consider becoming a patron. But thanks to all of you who keep supporting me in one way or the other. I really appreciate it. If I were to sum up the game in one word, it would be simplicity. The art style looks simple, the characters manage with one character trait, and one key moment leads to eternal love. And apparently only one fateful scene is needed to be deeply in love with her for the rest of their lives. We also have to admit that we missed a harem ending with all our boys, as well as alternative endings with the girl. You don't necessarily need to watch the anime in order to enjoy the game, as the game uses flashbacks to explain the key events and explain where every character is in love with us. Because the romance is so simple. In most roots there was no real relationship built up, as the main cast is in love with us anyway. So the roots were less about falling in love, but more about us realizing that we are indeed in love. And with the realization of love being the ultimate goal, there's nothing like a steamy scene. You get a little chill kiss at the end, but none of the characters is really passionate. And physical intimacy is not an important part for them of love. And due to all of that, I mostly felt like witnessing a love story between 6-year-old kids. They don't feel physically drawn to each other, but just enjoy spending time together. That is the main reason why the game left me unsatisfied. It's not that the characters are unlikable. The overarching plot was actually more interesting than expected. But I missed a subtle, gradual love progression, or passionate expressions of love, be it in words or of course even better in action. So for people who are no particular fans of the series, I would say that the plot of the new characters and the new characters themselves are the strong point of this game, as they tell a love story from the beginning and not from the end. But if you're a fan, on the other hand, of the series, I think you can't go wrong with the otome game, and will be able to enjoy the characters and their interactions so much more, as well as witnessing them finally accepting their love. Overall, the game picks up the tone and motives of the anime perfectly. If you like the anime, you're sure to also like the game. You get the harem scenes, the fighting over Katarina's attention scenes. Katarina's foodie side is emphasized a lot, she feasts a lot, and us in the anime is absolutely oblivious to the affection of the characters surrounding her. And as annoying as this character trait might be, I think it also makes it easy to self-insert into the harem or villainess. I often read about girls feeling inferior to the otome heroines, be it in looks or in character traits. And it's the same with Katarina. She doesn't see herself as the heroine of an otome game, but as the villainess, or a side character to get rid of. She doesn't think she's good looking or charming, has no special talents. Yeah, feels familiar? And that's the reason why she's blind to the affectionate actions of her friends. If she saw herself as the heroine of her own life, could recognize what others see in her, she would probably recognize the love surrounding her earlier. And for me, that's the greatest takeaway from this game. Don't act as a mob side character, but be the heroine of your own life. So while Hamefura is an anime and light novel turned into an otome game, Brothers Conflict is a light novel and otome game turned into an anime. Find out which is better and if it's worth playing the Brothers Conflict otome game.